Hi, Scott Machine Gun Dad. This video has taken me almost a month to film because problems. Go back about 2 months ago. I had some friends over. One of my buddy's new girlfriend never shot a machine gun before. Oh, we're going to let her shoot M-16 and 22. So what do we have here? We have two M-16s and 22. This is a factory Colt lower. This is a factory Bushmaster lower. Neither one of these guys would run. So after we were done shooting, one of my other buddies came downstairs and we started pulling shit apart. To give you an idea how many rounds, this is a Signer kit from the 90s. This is a CMMG kit I got maybe 3 years ago. This has probably, I don't know, 80 to 100,000 rounds through it. I've run this continuously since the 90s. This is this upper stays on this M16 lower because I have extra M16s. And that's all I run it as. So my buddy and I started taking it apart. Well, firing pin was worn down. So I had a spare firing pin. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to have to start ordering parts. So I did. So what did I do to these guns to make them run? Or do they run? Bore Buddy is a company that specializes in 22 stuff. So I bought their 6-pound red colored recoil springs to give me more bolt speed, so I'm tripping the auto trip on an M16, which is not a problem on an AR-15. If you have an AR-15, if you just change the springs, you know, you could probably run a 5-pound spring, but the 6-pound spring seems to be the best with the full auto guns. There's a company called Nick Taylor. He makes a reduced fire hammer spring, a reduced strength hammer spring just for 22 kits in these, and he color codes them blue, which is great because then when I look into my lowers, I know which ones have his spring in it. So I put that in and I took them out, and Nick and I tried to film and it was a disaster. They wouldn't feed, they wouldn't function. So here I worked on them again. I had a broken trip. So I got hold of Model 1 sales and I bought some original Signer trips and counterweights to set the guns up again. Still wouldn't work. This one especially. Matter of fact, this one wasn't stopped ejecting. Well, when these guns stop ejecting, it's an extractor. So I took the extractor out of this. Now, I've already ordered like 3 different times, so I've had all this shipping. So I ordered an extractor. Now, the last extractor I used I got from Spike's Tactical. Spike's Tactical is no longer making 22 parts, so I got one from Bore Buddy, their heavy-duty extractor with a heavy spring. It don't fit in the Signer. I had to get a Dremel and a grinder and make it thinner. It's a little too thick to fit in the Signer. It probably fits in the CMMG, but the CMMG extractor works. So I did all this stuff. Let's go out and see if they work. All right, you just saw us running. If you're watching us on YouTube, you only saw the semi-automatic part. If you're watching us on Rumble, you got to see all of it. The big takeaway is if you notice the ejection pattern on these guns. A lot of people when they run these guns, they get a 22 empty 22, either barely clears it or clears it by a foot. We were throwing cases 10-15 feet, which is good. You want that kind of bolt speed velocity, and you want that kind of positive extractor grabbing to run a full auto weapon. Now, I don't think have you shot these in full auto yet?
Other than trying to get them to work, which might have been like 2 or 3 rounds, Doing a full auto mag dump? No, that's the first time.
Okay, what did you think?
It doesn't move. It's like you're shooting an airsoft gun. It's crazy thinking that, you know, you have a fully automatic machine gun that is dumping out rounds, and you could fire it with 3 fingers on the gun, and it's not going to move.
If you have a young one and you want to get them into machine guns, or a female who's afraid of the noise and the recoil, there ain't nothing better than this to get them into to see a full auto smile without all the aggravation. Because, you know, you give a 14, 15-year-old kid this and a good range officer, and he'll burn you out at 22. But there is something we did learn today, and I want to let you know. First of all, this is the old Signer kit. It has the chamber insert in a 223 barrel. This is a CMMG upper with the CMMG barrel and the CMM full 22 barrel with the collar, not the insert. And we found out that this ammo works in both perfectly. However, Federal bulk pack would not chamber in this round. It ran full auto in the Signer kit.
Yep.
And the reason for that is, I think, is this. The Signer kit, first of all, it's very, very old. I already told you it has maybe 100,000 rounds on it. There's no rifling in that barrel extension. It's just smooth. So I think it's looser. What we were finding is the lead, unjacketed lead bullets from the Federal bulk pack would catch on the feed lips on the beginning of the chamber, and it would not. We even tried WD-40, and that didn't make any difference. It fired like 3 and then stopped. So, one final hint. Besides the Bore Buddy 6-pound spring, the Nick Taylor hammer spring, the Signer trip, and the Signer weight, if you're running a barrel with a collar and not a chamber insert, you're running a 22 dedicated 20 on full auto, you want to run plated bullets. These mini mags, this is a 40 grain plated bullet. It's a little heavier, and it ran flawlessly. If you're running the Signer style kit, you can get away with Walmart bulk. And the funny thing is, I told you this is from the 90s, and I just got this one 3 years ago. I have always run this one with Walmart bulk ammo. It never dawned on me that having a more accurate barrel would also decrease reliability because of tightening up the chamber. So, point of the video. You got an AR-15, buy the 22 kit. If you're going to run it with a dedicated barrel, it's a little bit more ammo specific. If you're going to run it with the Signer kit on a 223 barrel, you can run just about anything as long as you have the right spring tension. I highly recommend the Nick Taylor lower springs and the Bore Buddy upper. There is one other thing that you should consider. Bore Buddy makes a adjustable anti-bounce weight. I find, for me, because I run cheap ammo, I don't really have that much problem with barrel bounce, but if you run a really hot round, you should probably have a heavier weight. And that way. I have one, I don't use it, but I have one. It's just a way to get more people into the hobby. I mean, let's be realistic. You can go out and, you know, what's the $8 100, so there's $24. Well, how much 223 can you get for $24? Not very much. Box and a half? 2 boxes?
Yeah, probably about 2 boxes.
If it's Russian, 2 boxes. And have a lot of fun. And teach kids to enjoy the hobby. Get young ones into the hobby, or even somebody who's never shot one before, they're not afraid of it. Obviously, you better have a good range officer because you're still dealing with machine guns. Thanks for coming to the channel.